Okay. Wow, that looks incredible on there.
I'm even sporting a Batman logo. You got Ghostbusters.
Alright, ready?
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Alright, ready? Question 1. What is your history on video games?
I actually started out with Atari, and the games that I played on Atari was Pong and Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong, what? Why did I just bust out laughing at you?
Move whatever that vibrator or whatever that is.
Don't.
That works. Take that card and move it behind you.
I kept getting distracted by whatever you were looking at.
Alright, that works. Okay, ready? What is your history on video games?
I started with Atari, and the games I pretty much played was Pong and Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong I liked because it was interesting because Donkey Kong was the bad guy in it. And you had to rescue the princess from him. And Pong was a pretty boring game, but at the time it was fun. You just bounce a ball back and forth. And so it wasn't nothing big, but it was something. It was still worth playing.
Can you tell me what your favorite video game is and how it became your favorite?
Yes, it was the Resident Evil franchise. And actually, it's because I love the horror genre. So I started out with Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation. The original PlayStation. And I actually grew to really love the game. And it having zombies was a plus because I really loved zombies. And the story was awesome. The gameplay was awesome. The voice acting for the time was great. But with improvements of what we have now, it's gotten better over the years. But it was good, and
I'll have to start from the top.
yeah.
Alright, this should be it though. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Also, when you're saying like, you can say my history on video games is this, right? So you can kind of repeat the question.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to avoid because I wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, so when I'm doing editing, I'll know, like, when you're talking about Donkey Kong, believe it or not, Donkey Kong, I'm going to put a video up of it when you're talking about it. What is your history on video games?
Actually, my history is, I started out with Atari, and it was quite interesting because the games I played was Pong and Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong was really interesting because he was actually the bad guy in it. And you had to rescue the princess from him. So I found that very interesting and kind of fun. And then I played Pong, and Pong was a bit of a boring game, but it was kind of fun for its time. All you did was bounce a ball back and forth.
Can you tell me what your favorite video game is and how it is your favorite?
My favorite video game is Resident Evil franchise. And And actually, I started out on the PlayStation Classic, and I started with Resident Evil 2 because I actually heard of it on that one first. And when I played it, I heard about the zombies and stuff, which I love zombies and I love horror, so I gave it a shot and started playing it, and I loved it. It had a great story, the gameplay was awesome, had amazing puzzles. The voice acting, not the greatest, but for the time it was good. But overall, it was my favorite game, and I still play the franchise till this day.
Can you tell me what your thoughts, or sorry, how did your favorite video game affect your life as a gamer?
I actually grew from that and got better as a gamer, and I mostly became a horror gamer and mostly play horror games. In fact, I play Silent Hill, which had really good puzzles in it. The boss fights were amazing. The mystery of the game was awesome. And the story was awesome too, especially when you learn that there was fires burning underground and stuff. It was just really cool the way they told that story. And the different unique bosses were cool to look at. And Clock Tower was another good one. And the reason for that is it had many endings for the type of game it was. It was an old one. I want to say it started with PlayStation, and it had multiple endings. It had multiple ways you can play the game. The only thing is the character Scissor Man was a bit cheesy, but he was more like cliched, but it was still really good and fun.
Can you tell me about your thoughts on the rating system for video games?
Yes, actually, I do know that back when I was younger, we didn't really have a rating system. And there was like a lawsuit going on about trying to implement ratings on games because of violence in video games. And in fact, it was Hillary Clinton who was wanting to implement it. And so that's how we got it. And it was a good thing because, I mean, parents should know what kids are playing and what's in the games. I mean, not all the time do kids tell their parents the truth of what's in those games, but...
What are the key differences between console gaming and PC gaming?
The key differences are exclusivities. And what I mean by that is...
Your microphone, Jen, leave your microphone on. Okay, pause for a second. What are your thoughts on seeing pause for a second. What are the key differences between console games and PC gaming?
Yes, the key differences between console and PC gaming is actually with console, it's exclusivities. Basically, the consoles have exclusives versus PC. And like some games you can get, because there was a game I was really into on the PlayStation, which was Heavy Rain. And it was only on PlayStation. It was not for the other console. It was not on PC. So you would have to get that console. And then there's also the PC would have better graphics. It would be faster and things. So the PC is better in that aspect of it. And also I would have to say that for console gaming, I personally like console gaming because you get to relax and kick back and just basically just sit back and play with controller in hand.
What are your thoughts on seeing VR for the first time?
Oh, that was amazing. And
Yeah. All right. What is your thoughts of seeing VR for the first time?
my thoughts on VR after seeing it for the first time is it was amazing. I mean, it was like you're really there. Everything around you changes. It was so awesome. The feeling is a little bit unnerving at first because you got to get used to the feeling of being there. So I kind of lost balance a lot. But it was a very unique experience too.
What was your first experience with VR?
My first experience with VR would be actually during the training to learn how to use VR. On the Oculus VR. And you would train with this cute little robot, which he was so adorable. I just wanted to take him home. And you get to play these little games with him and actually interact with him. And it was so awesome. And then I got to play, in fact, my favorite genre, which was some horror games on it. And The Manor being one of them. And you got to go around this creepy manor, and it felt like you were really there, looking around a manor.
Can you tell me about your favorite game in VR?
I would have to say Face Your Fears 2. And, well, my favorite game in VR would be Face Your Fears 2 because of it encourages you to face your fears, and for me, it was really exciting to do. They had two of those, of course. The first one had only like 3 choices, and you didn't really do much. You just sat around, basically. Still awesome, but not as good as the second. The second, you get to interact and do things, solve puzzles, and get to climb high up and actually do things with it. And so you're put there trying to face your fear, whether it be heights, snakes, even spiders in some people's cases.
Explain the headset and how it works. Plug it into the PC and things like that, right? So you know how. Explain basically the headset and how it works with the PC, and you could talk a little bit about the Quest, just a little bit. But right now we're talking about the PC connected to Oculus. So that's the next question.
All right.
explain the headset and how it works.
Yeah, well, how it works is basically, you would take the PC and adapt it to the headset, and you would play it off your graphics card. And it's got its own little controllers that would attach to your hands.
Reach back and show them the controllers.
It's got these here, which you would put your hands through and use, which these are really cool because you can actually, it's like you're actually moving your fingers in the actual game itself. It's really cool.
How does VR affect you?
Actually, I think it made me a little bit more confident with certain things, like if you are afraid of, say, heights, and you're playing a roller coaster game, you're technically facing your fear. So in a way, VR also can work for helping you with fears. There's all kinds of things that VR is really good with.
Okay. Next question, we'll be talking about other headsets in this question, and as well as Oculus and stuff like that. What about the cost of the headsets and how they relate to other headsets?
Well, I'd have to say the Oculus Rift is probably, I'm not 100% sure, one of the most expensive out of them. No. Crap.
No, probably the Vive Cosmos is, but you can say they no longer make the Oculus Rift S, the one that's in the back here, and you could say the most expensive that you're aware of is the Vive Index or the Cosmos, since they start out about $700 or $800 and they go up from there, right?
Okay.
Okay. Question 11. What about the cost of the Oculus Rift related to other headsets?
Well, the Oculus S here, actually, was discontinued. They don't sell those ones no more. And the, fuck, I forgot the name.
Valve Index or
Valve Index.
Or the Cosmos.
Cosmos, okay.
Okay, they start about $700 or $800, and then they go up from there. So back to the question. Question 11. Also, don't talk over me. Wait about a second after I answer the question. That's for editing.
Oh, okay.
All right. What about the cost of the headsets, or what about the cost of the Oculus Rift headset versus and how it relates to other headsets?
Yeah, the Oculus S here is actually discontinued. And then we got the Dex and the Cosmos, which is probably around $700 to $800, give or take. But then you got some of the cheaper ones, like Quest is a bit cheaper. It's pretty affordable. I think it's like 300. So yeah, I'd say that's the most affordable. And then you got stuff like, you do got PlayStation VR, which is the Vive. Or what was that?
PSVR.
I had it right.
Alright. Last question. Tell me about the future. Tell me about your future in VR.
I definitely plan on continuing. I do want to see other VR sets and how they evolve over time. I would love to see more stuff like actually being able to fully interact or just see how far it goes. So I'm hoping to see way more with it, and I want to continue.
Okay, we're done with the questions, I guess. Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. The only ones I was having trouble knowing was the rating system and